Hello, good evening, everyone. You are welcome. This is U.S.B. My Nation channel, where we talk about social, faith, and politics. This is the moment of the truth. This is our breaking news. This news gladdens my heart because this news continue to let the people of this world know that Africans are still the best brains. What rubbished Africans and our continent is a man-made force, man-made wickedness. As we proceed on this video, you will find out. YouTube, this video is for educational purpose. Here, we are here to contribute our quotas to make our world a better place. Because if those that lived before us did not destroy it, why should it be destroyed on our own time? So I say you are highly welcome. Today, I had a news that is very good, very important, good to share, especially in weekends like this. And this news is talking about the country that is making wave in the whole world, and it is in the continent of Archebelon. Your guess is as good as mine. Then, before I give you the news, when I saw this news, it is always, and when we see what is going on in the world, especially in the African continent, as they call it, Archebelon, as we know, it's supposed to be, you will agree with me that age is not wisdom. We thought when we are growing that age is wisdom, but no, it is proven with the moments we are living, with the time we are into, that wisdom is not come. It does not come by age. Why did I say this? When you watch Africa, you will agree with me that most presidents of Africa are aged. Some of them, you can predict when they are going. Some of them, the only ear open to them is when to hear about their obituary. Because it's appointed to a man to be born and they also to die. But we always pray to die at the old age. So you can see, most of them has been life presidents. Most of them are 90. Even as they amend their dates of birth, they are still as old as this should be. And when you see them, you will understand. It's only in the African continent you will see a president being supported to work. You will see a president falling on the stage. You will see a president saying what is not meant to be said while representing the country. And you don't ask why. Does it mean that there are no people in Africa? Does it mean that these countries has no brains that can sit on that power? Let's go on and you will understand. At this point, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. This channel is a new channel, a brand new baby channel that rose to add their voice to the good things happening in our world, to give our own contribution, because we all have a stake and assignment to make our world more better than we met it. So, this very news, another thing that gladdens me is that the uniform men, the police of this country, their uniform is not like the uniform we know as police uniform. They think for themselves. Because when you think for yourself, you will choose what you want to be and what you want to do, and how you want to do it, and when you want to do it. But when somebody thinks for you, that's where the problem is, because you will be pushed around to do what you may not want to do. And that has been what is happening in our world in general. Because when they graduated from Nigeria, they spread this type of system around the world, and everybody is suffering for it today. But thank God that God has risen people that will confront this and say, we are unique and we have unique talents, and every talent matters so long as our planet is concerned. So this nation I am talking about is Burkina Faso. President Traore. The young Africans like me, we took him as our president because he is the one speaking and doing and acting our mind the way it should be. He has been the one, the Sahel Alliance, projecting Africa in different way, letting the lies, burying the lies, letting the people that refuse to tell the truth to know that we know the truth and we have the power to project the truth and not the lie. So, in this very breaking news, it is about Burkina Faso. God bless Burkina Faso. And God protect and keep President Ibrahim Traore. Now, this very week, President Ibrahim Traore donated and brought 2,000 bikes to Burkina Faso police. 2,000. And I asked, does Nigeria British supermarket police has even a bike? I don't think so. And even the vans they have, if you call them, they are going to tell you that they don't have fuel. That is if they pick your call. If they really want to work, you meet those that really came to work, they will ask you to put the fuel. Yet, this supermarket of Britain, what they sold and what they refine is the same fuel. But the land where this fuel is coming from, the security men in this very nation has not even that fuel to even protect lives. You see what I tell you? Now, your guess should be as good as mine. Why Africa is down. Why they will come and project Africa as a poor nation. Just like Macron said and did. And yet, he refused to leave Africa alone. He backs up the dictators. Recently, there was a coup in. None of their leader talked about it. And their medias. And you ask, what's going on? But if that coup was to be successful, you will hear all their medias with their propagandas saying what is not true. But this time around, we tell our own stories. And in that coup that happened, you can see the president of Benin, the president of Niger, coming out to say that French hand, Macron, he mentioned his name is on the social media, that his hand is on what the coup, and some African presidents. When you hear that, you will also know why Africa is down. So who will be this African president that will not want the citizens of Africa, with all the wealth that we have in our continent, to at least live in peace? Who are these presidents of Africa that has chosen to work with their enemies to destroy their own? That's why I call them managers, because managers only take order. Managers only manage as they are directed. They have no decision of their own. Now, on this coup that happened, we have firsthand, for the first time, the truth being laid out without fear and without favor. He even mentioned that one French national were among the dead. What does that tell you? And will you ask yourself, what is a French national doing among the terrorists? Remember that France has been in Burkina Faso and the Sahel nation as long as we are born. pretending and telling us that they are curbing the terrorists. But what do we see is the increase, the opposite of the story, just as it is happening in Nigeria. If not for the intervention of President J. Trump, I don't know what would have happened at this moment in that very entity called Nigeria, the British supermarket. Yet, Britain are living in peace in their own nation. Nobody is disturbing them. But they all have vowed that the citizens and the children of Africa shall live life, at least be in peace, enjoy food, live the wealth. Their purpose has always been to see us destroy. And I ask why? Why should it be that way? Why should you wish another human what you want to like to happen to your own child? Why should you wish somebody that embraced you and brought you in and welcomed you to go and buy for you to take over? Why can't the West do business in a clean slate? Why do they believe that it's supposed to be at their own terms, that they should come into our... As for they were the one that left their home, why did they leave their homes in the first place, if not for hunger? They are also the one that propagate Africa as hungry people. And they knew it was lie. But all these lies are coming out, and their young generations are seeing the truth. And that is where these stories are becoming very interesting. So you ask yourself, these African leaders that want to die on seats, and the world leaders, the so-called West, has never called them dictators. They only call them dictators when they go against their command. Who is sponsoring them? I grew up to see that whenever election is to happen in African nation, you will be hearing electoral monitors, electoral observers. And I ask, who are these people? You will see the West inside it. Votes happened in African nation. The result comes from the West. And you ask yourself, what is going on here? But for many years that I have been in the West, I don't even know when they do their own election. You don't even hear it. It doesn't even make noise. So why did they make elections in Africa a troublesome one? Why have they taken it upon themselves to see that the losers of election will be the one to sit on the seat of power? And that is what is bringing and has brought the African children in the states that we all see ourselves. That has made kept Africa underdeveloped. No industry. They take our resources, they refine it in their own place, they bring it back to us, and they sold it to us. Presently, we all can see they are all making the law order of everything. Their laws are everywhere. That's why I am very glad that President Donald J. Trump is there, because he may not be perfect. No one is perfect, including me that is here. But what we are saying is, do others what you would like them to do to you. So the West, if I am to give my own judgment, has been the trouble of our planet. And I ask, why should we go that way? They were the one that taught us about the Bible. They were the one that told us about discipline. They also come to tell us about freedom. They always propagate justice. And when they act, you don't see any of this in their behaviors. In fact, if you want to commit a crime, tell them the truth to their face. They will come to look for your, you will know they want to buy you. Why should it be that way? Why should it be that way? They will come, take from us. When they bring back the money to destroy us, to pay their terrorists, they will tell you that they are giving you aids. And you ask yourself, since we are in their country, people that have nothing, where are these aids coming that they will be the one giving, being the Father Christmas to those that owns the resources? These are what the emergence of the Sahel region has exposed. Burkina Faso is growing. Every piece of land and territory recovered by from the terrorists is being developed before the owners of the land returns. They will build schools, build hospitals, roads, houses that they don't even have before. On this note, if you have not subscribed, do not forget, this is U.S.B My Nation channel, a young channel that just came up to add our voice to the voice of the good citizens of this world, to see that our world become a better place for us and for our children. Do like our videos, share them, bring on your comments, so that through the comments you can also talk to us. Together, we will conclude the video. So, I ask, if the West are the one propagating the goodness, the good citizens, the judgment, the justice, the human rights, and the human rights only applies to them and their citizens, it doesn't cross their borders, it doesn't go to Africa where they are feeding from. Where is the justice? Where is the justice? Where are the human rights? In fact, in recent years, we have come to see, it's on the social media, that for every organization we hear is their eye and their tool for destruction, not to build. Because if it is to build, why is Africa, where they are benefiting everything that they are eating, enjoying in their homes, the way it is? Why are children hungry in Africa while their own children are being paid social money? What type of wickedness is greater than that? Why is it that if any African citizen rise up and said things are not supposed to be like this, they will use their managers on the seat of power to start looking for this person's life? Example is Uganda, a man that has been on this seat since 1986. His own son grew to become the chief army staff of the nation since then. The West has never called him a terrorist. And you ask yourself why. But President Traore and the Young Alliance presidents, they are being sung, propagated, presented as the people that nobody should desire. And I ask, the people, if democracy is for the people and by the people and to the people, why should somebody in the West dictating what will happen in the nation of Africa? How can you be in the West and you become the people to talk about what is happening in Burkina Faso or in any other part of Africa? Where is justice? Where is equity? Where are the human rights that you, the Westerners, propagate in all your talks? But I am very glad that it is no longer business as usual, because we have come and we have seen, and we also is awake, that the questions we ask on our heads are right questions. We go to school, there is no work. Have you had peace? Not to talk of having work. Is it not when peace reigns that development will come? As an adult, I have never voted in that geographical entity called Nigeria. I have gone many times to go and vote. We came back thanking God that we escaped with our life. And now we knew the people behind all this. But thank God, thank Chukwu Okike Obioma, for the nation of the United States of Biafra, where I casted my very first vote, which is the best thing that has ever happened in my life. I casted my very first vote in the United States of Biafra, where votes counted. Because even when people voted in the nations of Africa, they will bring their monitors. They will also call the results. They will make sure that the people's choice will never be the one on the seat, so that they will put their stooges, the people they will make managers, the people that will go and their children, they become president. You are ruling a nation and your children is living in another nation. And when you are sick, you will go to that nation to go and take care of yourself, while the millions of people under you are perishing. No wonder the Bible says that the nation suffers when the unrighteous is on the seat. And when you hear that, who will you call the unrighteous here? If I have to call the result, is the Westerners. They are the unrighteous, because these are their master plans. No wonder Donald Trump, president, said that Africa is a shithole. And many Africans were angry for that. And I asked, if you are angry for that, why don't you stay there? Why are you running for your head? You call it an insult, and you left the people insulting you. And those people that put you into that insult will come and tell you that your president, or the ones that want to do good things, that they are dictators. You will help them to unalive those people. Who is sick here? Who is insulting who? You are the one insulting yourself. And President Putin of Russia once said that Africa is only but a burial ground for the leaders of Africa. Of course, because when they are sick outside. They will be there and they die. Their corpse will be brought home to Africa and put on the ground. No wonder China closed their gates against the Westerners for 30 good years to build their country. Because you cannot build a continent or a country without peace. And for what we have seen so far is on the social media, is that the best thing the Westerners know how to do is to cause trouble. Is to bring misunderstanding. Is to say that lie is true and true is lie. It's on the social media. Everybody is crying for it. Even their own citizens now has woken up to know that their governments are lying for them. And they ended up giving us presidents with empty brains. Presidents that are greed. Presidents that have no empathy. Presidents that does not see tomorrow. Presidents that only want the technology to be in that under their own roof and not for the nations where they rule. Presidents that want the good things only for them and their families, and the rest go to the West to develop the West, while their own people cannot even see food to put in the mouth. We are not talking about electricity. When you go to the supermarket geographical zone of Britain called Nigeria, everything, every social amenity is being provided by individuals. Schools are private, water is private, electricity is generator. Just name them. Just name them. They are endless. And the West are okay with it. And even when we come to live with them in their nation and we meet the requirements, they find it very difficult to take us and put in the front of their jobs, because they don't want to say that we are good for anything, because what they told their people is that we are not good for nothing. Our world is not going to be better for it. This is not the way to go. We all must come one in love. We all must speak what is truth. We all must champion equity and justice and see it happen for the West and for Africa. The people of Akabalon, they need this justice like you need our oil, because together we all shall make our world a better place. Remember, this video is for educational purpose and to make our world a better place. This is the moment of truth. Bring on your comments and do not forget to subscribe. Put on your notification bell when you subscribe. Together, the world surely will be better for what it is. Thank you so much.